This video will explain our Bees and Hexagons Arts and Math Integration project. This is Miss Alyssa talking, and I'm the art teacher here at Ramsey. Last summer, I got to paint a mural at the Richardson Nature Center. This nature center is in Bloomington and has all kinds of activities for kids and families to do. The mural was located up on the second floor in what was called the pollinator room. The pollinator room has a big wooden wall like this, and then next to it is a window with beehives outside. I painted different types of pollinators, bees and wasps and butterflies on that wall. I put these pollinating insects on their favorite flowers that are in Richardson Nature Center's prairie. While I painted, I could hear the humming of the bees next to me in the hives and even see them going in and out. I learned all about hives while I worked there, and bees and pollinators, and I learned about dangers to the hives, one of them being something called varroa mites. Varroa mites are little insects that look like ticks that attach to the body of drone bees. Drone bees are the bigger bees in the hive. The mites get into that hive and they infect the hive. They eat the larvae or the eggs that the bees lay, and they can ultimately destroy the hive. While I was painting the mural, a group of specialists called the Bee Squad from the University of Minnesota let me try the honey. At the top of this picture you can see where the hive is a little broken. That's where I stuck my finger into the beeswax and I got some honey out and tasted it. It was super good. The Bee Squad helps bees start their honeycombs, and they start them with a little smaller hexagon. The hexagon pattern is how the bees store their honey, and the little bit smaller hexagons mean that there are fewer drone bees in the hive. Drone bees are larger than worker bees, so they would need a larger hexagon to be able to fit into. Drone bees at this point don't do much to contribute to the hive, so the Bee Squad created these hives so that the drone bees couldn't get in them, and then the mites wouldn't get in the hive. The challenge today is to turn your math class into a bee colony and create a healthy beehive. You're going to make hexagonal prisms that will fit the worker bees, but not the drone bees. At the end of class, you'll see how many you've made and how much volume they'll hold to see how much honey you created. We will use this worksheet to fold our hexagonal prisms and then compare the size of the opening to make sure that they won't fit a drone bee. In this project, your yellow paper represents beeswax. You'll cut off the top part of your yellow paper and then fold it to be a hexagonal prism. Then we will compare the opening on our hexagonal prisms to see if it will fit a worker bee but not a drone bee. Worker bees will create the hexagonal prisms and then bring them to your class representatives, who are the drone bees. The drone bees will see what size they are and then pass them on to the queen bee, who will glue the hive together. Here's the sheet that the worker bees will get. First, cut here. One trick to folding this more perfectly is to squeeze it on each line before you do the entire fold. This will give you kind of a head start. Okay, and you can do both sides that way. And then once you do that, you can kind of pull the two ends like this and then push across with both fingers so that the fold is right on the line. Do that on all 6 sides, and then this is your tab. You put the glue there. Put the glue only along this edge, and then wrap the whole thing around. And where it says tab glue here, you're just going to tuck it so that line lines up right with the edge. The worker bees then bring the hexagonal cells over to the drone bees. The drone bees are going to try them out. This is the size of a worker bee, and they're going to make sure that the worker bee can fit into the cell. They're also going to test and see if a drone bee would fit. And if the drone bee is too big, then the cell is the correct size, and it will remain a healthy hive. The last step will be the queen bee putting the hive together. All right, let's do this.